So hi,
It's
how's it going?
going pretty good. Yep.
Good.
Mhm.
Um, so you want to have any questions for us, or you want to tell us about yourself or something, or
Well, yeah, I did have like I guess questions related to the comic and like your writing process and stuff. Uh,
okay.
yeah. Um, I guess where do I start? I guess what made you guys want to do like a superhero comic? Like,
Well, it sort of started with Comic Con.
Mhm.
We've been going to Comic Con for like 12 out of the last 15 years, and we started out just going one day at a time, and then we started going for all 4 days and started going to panels. And oh, it would really be cool to be on a panel instead of always being in the audience.
Yeah.
And so Paul and his brother are identical twins, and so and Paul wanted to write and Trevor wanted to draw. So we thought, hey, we could do a comic book, and so that's kind of how it started. And then we were trying to, well, they're kind of, being identical twins is kind of unusual. So we thought, well, we could use that as, for the characters and give them, you have to give them some sort of superpowers because, comic book. And
Mhm. Yeah, because I don't think I've seen a lot of comics that deals with at least identical siblings.
isn't
Superhero.
there one uh, Super Twins or something?
Oh, yeah.
Wonder Twins is
Yeah.
Wonder Twins. Okay, yeah.
Those are the
They
only
have
ones
to be
I know.
they have to be touching or something to make it work. So we just have to go a different route, I guess. Yeah. I'm actually not a huge comic book reader. I mean, I've read Captain America and some Captain Marvel, but not really into the whole history of comic books or whatever. You guys have read more than I have. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what got you interested in sequential art?
I'm sorry, what?
What got you interested in sequential art?
Oh, well, originally I wanted to do just illustration because that's what I saw at most colleges. But then when I saw SCAD and they had sequential art, and that was a mixture of doing your own stories and adding art to it, I was really interested in that because I really like the idea of telling stories through my art. So that just seemed like the best choice.
Okay. Are you from Georgia originally?
Yes, I'm from Atlanta.
Okay. So it wasn't. So are you, and you're still in, I hate saying your address. You're still in Atlanta?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. That's, how long ago did you go to SCAD?
That was a year ago now. Yeah, I graduated June 2017. So yeah,
Wow.
and
Wow. That's pretty cool. Um, so we're glad you're interested in coloring our book. Um, we really, it's been a really good experience using SCAD, SCAD grads or whatever, I guess is the right word. But uh, did you know Rachel Walls at all? Oh,
she seems very familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen her around like the campus at some point.
right.
So
Okay. Well, it's I guess I don't forget when she graduated, but it wasn't too long ago either.
okay.
Um, so can't be too casual. Uh, um, I don't know what else are you working on besides our book?
Well, I've been doing like fan art stuff for my Etsy store, and let's see. Oh, I have a children's book that I'm working on that it's going slowly, but I've already had it like already put together when I was at SCAD, and so I'm just refining it and everything, and then I'll probably launch like a Kickstarter or something for it so I can print it. So yeah,
That's cool.
that's the
Uh,
main things I've been doing.
all right. Do you have any other? Are you working for anybody else besides us, or I mean, which is okay? I'm just curious.
Oh, no, no, not yet. I haven't really looked like to branch out and do like two things that big at the same time. So,
okay. Do you, I have a day job. Do you have another job that you're doing?
not really. This is really freelancing is mainly what I do now. So the Etsy store is starting to become a separate job to a degree with the printing and then making stuff just for it and shipping it out myself. So that's it's separate little thing, but no like 9 to 5 type of job.
Oh, okay. Well, you're lucky. It's no fun. Let me see. You have any questions for him?
I don't know.
Oh, good. Yeah, you can tell we're really prepared for this.
I mean, I have a few questions. I mean, if you want to.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I guess, what's your writing process like when it comes to your comic?
Well, we started out with certain ideas for stories. The first comic we did was sort of the first idea we had was to do a one shot, and that never really took off, and we never could quite get it right. So we started to just write a story that was sort of an introductory, story of the twins. And after that, we were looking for, what's the next thing we tried to plant in the first issue some other characters. So we thought we should, explore them. That was the idea behind it. And one of them was kind of like Instructor Miller had been at the conference. Dr. Atlas was talking about, having these powers. So we thought, well, he could come and or try to continue the work. And so then so that was 2, 3, and 4, 3, 4, and 5, and then we were exploring Dr. Jordan with the 6 and 7. And so I think we kind of had gone through those 3 main characters. So we were trying to think of, we had come up with this other story ideas. I had seen somewhere I'd seen the Napoleon theorem, which got me interested. I use that as a portal, but who could travel in a portal? And so we came up with kind of Professor Theorem, for lack of a better name. And so then we'd also written some other story ideas, and so we sort of strung 3 different story arcs together. So we have, math magical, and then like what's in a name, and then the imposter. So we have it's like the next 7 issues sort of mapped out.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So.
And
so basically, the idea is, I think I did most of the writing, and then I show it to Paul and to Trevor, and they kind of, take their own.
We mark notes on it, and then
make edits and try to make it not sound like me writing it, that kind of stuff, right? And so it takes, I'm going over the last. I had sort of this idea that we hadn't really handled the imposter that well, as far as we know it. At the end of the story arc, where there are some people that get killed and nobody was getting punished, I thought, well, you can't really have that in a superhero comic book, so we need to have some punishment of Dr. Atlas, who's back. And so I thought I need to write something in where he gets, like over to the police or something. We're not going to follow him to the court system or whatever, but just some sort of resolution. And so then I kind of rewrote kind of rewriting parts of the whole thing over again. So
okay.
More than you care to know, I know.
No, it's interesting. I'm always interested to see how people put their stuff together, because like I have my own things that I'd like to do for comics, and so I like to see how other people their thinking process for it as well.
Yeah, we kind of had this. It took. We finally seem to have a rhythm between Steve and Rachel. There's kind of a rhythm of getting stuff done. Before that, it was the artist was very slow and inconsistent, and so we had stuff written sort of well ahead, and then we kind of got as we're starting issue 7, we need to kind of have the next thing going, so we started working on 8 through 14 at that point to try to rewrite the stuff we already had, kind of bring it together and make it a little more cohesive.
Okay.
So what kind of stuff do you write? Or,
Well, it's a mixture of things, mainly like slice of life and with some magical elements, maybe. That's been the majority of the stories I've thought of so far. So, yeah, my like the children's book idea I had, it's sort of like a mix of sort of a magical world, but it's also slightly educational too. So I just like mixing different things like that.
okay. Do you have other questions for us? So obviously we're not prepared with any for you.
I definitely overthink and overprepare sometimes. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write down questions and like be super prepared. But that's just me overthinking things. So.
That's okay.
But I guess do you think you might branch off into like a different series after this one's over?
Well, I don't know. We haven't really talked about. We have other story ideas after the 14 issues. And I don't know if we've really thought about anything else, have we?
No.
Yeah. So no, I guess is the answer.
That's fair.
we haven't thought that far ahead. But, we do have some. Trevor came up with some really good story ideas for a couple of issues, and Paul has this longer. Like was it 6-part arc or something like that? It was really long.
Maybe.
And so we have some other ideas. It's just hopefully get through these 14 and then see where hopefully it'll pick up some steam as we go along, and get a little more. Right now we're trying to get a fan base going, which is
that's hard to do.
Yeah, but we did an AMA feed like in July, and then they published an article calling this one of the 11 non-DC Marvel comics you should read this year.
Wow.
So we'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah.
So when we're 6 is finished and Trevor's still lettering 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can send you 6 if you want to see it.
Yeah, I'd love to see what it looks like.
I said I would send it to Rachel too, and I haven't done that.
I ended up buying the first and second one to get like a gist of what's going on in the story. So.
Thank you. You're in a very small group of people out there in the sales, but no, okay. Well, yeah, you can get them free from now on.
Oh, that's good.
So, do you have any experience with like kickstarting things? You mentioned Kickstarter.
I know about it. Right now, I said Kickstarter, but what I meant to say is Indiegogo. That's the one that I'm actually doing. Because with Kickstarter, it's more of you have to meet your goal or you lose all that money, basically. But with Indiegogo, you can have a flexible goal so that you can, if you don't meet your actual goal, then you can at least have some of that money. So you can at least use the money that you've made towards what you want to do.
Right.
So I feel like that's a better option if you aren't like too sure of how things could go. But
yeah, we have a panel about kickstarting at Comic-Con, and the guy that was running it had kickstarted 17 projects and made $1.3 million doing it, which he put in. He wasn't like buying houses with it, but he was putting it back into his title. But he also had 22 years of experience and had a fan base going in. It's like, okay, that's not going to help me so much. And then at a marketing panel, someone said, "Oh, you can't." He was saying you can use Kickstarter to help build your fan base, And then they were saying you need a fan base before you start a Kickstarter project. So I'm not really, I'm not really sure. Eventually, I would like to try to kickstart some of the expense of this comic book.
Mm-hmm. I think. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's just all out of pocket right now, and it would there's other things I could do if I had more money. So, as we all could.
Yeah, but I think I feel like it's good to have a fan base first, because then those people who are passionate about it can branch off and tell other people about it, and it builds up like that. But especially with building a bigger fan base is definitely linked to building up your social media as well, and that takes a lot of effort. Like, I mean, I've spent years trying to get mine up, and it's just constant posting and using the right tags, and sometimes you have to pay for advertisement, like on Instagram, because Instagram's algorithm is not very helpful to artists sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot that goes into it. But yeah, building up excitement and fan base and social media are definitely things that could help a Kickstarter be successful. Definitely, if you're going to do Kickstarter, you have to be really aggressive, I feel, with advertising and everything. So that's why I was going to go to Indiegogo, because I'm not too good at promoting myself and things like that. But I would definitely at least try, and if I meet my goal, that's good. But if I don't, that's also okay. So.
Right. Yeah, this guy was saying that with Kickstarters, don't try to kickstart everything, because you still need to people want to know that you're still having something, you're still paying for stuff out, you're still doing it yourself, not just totally relying on people to give you money. Yeah, I've looked at. I thought Indiegogo takes a bigger chunk out of it than Kickstarter does, or they take a bigger chunk if you don't meet your goal or something like that.
That part I don't know. I do know that both of them do take a fee, whether you meet your goal or not. But well, I think with Kickstarter, if you don't meet the goal, I don't think they take anything, because you wouldn't get anything. So
yeah.
But I don't know if Indiegogo takes a bigger fee if you don't meet your goal. Maybe if you don't have a flexible goal, they would take it. But if you have a flexible goal, I'm assuming it would be the same fee for a regular Indiegogo.
Yeah, okay. I haven't really looked into them that deeply, I hate to say, because then you have to think of. I know with Kickstarter, you have to have rewards or
Yeah,
to give people.
Same with both of them. You have to do rewards and stuff. I have to draw things specifically as a reward, give them prints or stickers or a T-shirt.
Yeah, that gets expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're thinking we could just give them a comic book, but I'm sure they want something more than just that. But it's all part of the kind of trying to figure out how to just build the fan base. And we're trying to be, we're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr and YouTube, and I think that's about it. So we're trying to hit all the places we can.
Yeah, you're covering all your bases at least. That's good.
The problem is we're not the artists, so we have to wait for something to come in before we can share it. That kind of, you know what I mean? So we're kind of going back through. I'm trying to go through and find images from the comic book, and I put them up on the website, and then I take them from the website, because you have to do Instagram through your phone. So I pull them off the website onto my phone and then put them up on Instagram. So it's a little bit of a two-step process, but it's you have to kind of do it. So, but you have to keep putting stuff out there, which is the fun part.
Yeah, because I wouldn't mind. I didn't know of what I could show of the comic while I was working on it, so I haven't really showed anything about it.
Yeah.
So
feel free to share that you're working on it. And if there's some, if you want to show part of what you're doing, that's fine too.
Okay, good. I just wanted, of course, to get your permission first, because I know that some places prefer, like, I guess non-disclosure parts of things. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think that would be if we were doing a video game or something. At this point, if you talk about that, helps get the word out that it's out there.
Okay.
So I try to talk about it, as much as I can on, all the little social media places, and I do a blog post, which I get like an audience of 20, but I talk about my own writing and what what I did that week, and talk about the comic book and whatever else I'm working on. So I try to, I'm trying to talk about it, but again, like 20 people read it, and they're probably not comic book buyers. So, but if anything you can say about it is welcome.
Yeah. Okay. I also could think. I think of like getting people involved would help too. Of like maybe a fan art competition or something. Might get people more interested in reading it and knowing more about the characters.
Okay. What would we? I'm open to suggestions. What would we? I guess how would we start that, and what would we give them something for it if we thought who? I guess it'd be like all the 5 of us would judge what's the best or whatever.
Yeah, I guess because I've seen people do those type of competitions where it's like, oh, draw fan art of these 2 characters from my comic, and like if I choose yours, then I don't know, you'd win a free comic book, or like there's a print you win or something like that. Something that people would really be into, basically.
Yeah, give you a T-shirt and
yeah.
and a free like a gift certificate from Domino's or something. Everybody likes free pizza. Sorry. Anyway, well, we don't want to take too much of your time. We'd probably like to be able to do this again. We went to this. There's this group from Facebook called Coffee and Comics.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was saying, "Oh, you need to have a." We were trying to put up some videos of us talking about the comic book, and he said, "Oh, you should do a Google Hangout, the artist, set up." So we're thinking that would be a way of feeding the channel. But so we would, we'd like to maybe talk to you and talk to Rachel at different times, and just sort of, occasionally, so we can put up more content about the comic book. Apparently.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay, this worked out a lot. This was much easier this time than the first time. It was. It took us like an hour to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're say goodbye for now.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time, and if you have more questions, save them up. We'll answer them later.
Okay.
Good luck with your children's book for the time being.
Thank you. I'm glad I did this. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.